welcome to another edition of the Spincast Cycling Show. I'm your host, Brian Kellison, co-host Brian White, back from 2 weeks off, I guess what it was, and Lisa Vries, respectively. Let's get into it. Brian, are you recovered from your vacation?
Not really, because I picked up some sort of malaria AIDS virus from travel. I don't know what exactly happened.
That's sarcasm, everybody.
Yes,
that's
sarcasm. Yes, it's
Your
pure
eye
sarcasm.
Directly right in the eyeball.
Yeah,
yeah.
I got a crusty eye.
Yeah. Let me just preface the audio audience. They can't see him.
Yeah, that's right.
He went. He had his wife does travel stuff, and they did a resort thing. And he got sick from the travel, whether it was from the air travel, from the water.
Yeah,
it was like some island. It was some Caribbean island or something like that.
Yeah, St. Vincent. If you guys have seen Pirates of the Caribbean, a lot of especially the first Pirates of the Caribbean was filmed on St. Vincent. So it's a beautiful island. Getting around, it was, I don't know, I'll say this, it was like 10 to 15 miles from the airport to resort, but it took 50 minutes because it's this windy road with what Americans, or I'm sure Canadians and Europe would consider 2 lanes, but it's a lane and a half. Right. So trying to fit two-way traffic
in Canada,
it's horrible. So the resort itself is great. The island was great, but yeah, now you
have an eyeball issue, but you're going to power through it. So is it like is it like the coastal lanes in Zwift, the 8 kilometers of road that is now thousands and thousands of route badges?
Yes.
And leading into the, what is this? New routes arriving soon. Zwift teases the great expansion. We're going to go right into it.
So
I told you guys, hold on, let me preface this. I told them off air, they have to be the ones to sell me to come back to Zwift with this amazing feature. And they said no, both of them immediately. No, this is not the thing that's going to sell it.
I do appreciate new roads.
Yes.
Do appreciate it.
It does seem like we're getting new roads just beside the climb. Like if you scroll down on this article, the overlays of what is existing and we know exists don't match up with some of the routes that they posted. So hopefully we get some more roads that we can connect, do loops, and explore. So hopefully,
so is this like it looks like this? It's straight for the audio only audience. It's like a straight shot. Like it's like the roads I ride out here where I live.
Yeah,
it's apparently very straight,
and then it goes to a bunch of hairpins and then a loop around the top.
So apparently, this is meant for FTP testing.
Yeah,
and by the time you hit the hairpins, your FTP test is over. Which
it's meant. Yeah,
I think probably a good idea from Zwift. I mean, Zwift probably has more data on FTP tests than any other training platform out there. And I think it would be good for them to be leveraged. Well, Strava does, but I mean, Strava, is there anything actually labeled specifically like FTP tests? Like in Zwift, you're going into a program, you're going, FTP test, I'm doing this. And then Zwift is like logging your FTP test.
Okay, so you're saying this road is it's specifically built for FTP tests, or that's what you're thinking?
Apparently it's a certain grade, and it's the exact same grade. That's why it's called the grade.
Yeah.
Perfectly straight for a set distance of about, I think they said it should take most people just over 10 minutes.
Okay, so I'm reading it right here. So this is this article you have from Zwift Insider, so we'll give the credit to Zwift Insider. And not paraphrasing, I'm reading it verbatim here from the middle of the article. As I understand, in the straight, even gradient of the first portion of the climb is what riders will need to complete so the game can compute your FTP. So the first part, the straight?
The straight part is the FTP test. The squiggly switchbacks are just fun.
Which is
so
good.
It's like a not a false flat. It's actually just a little grade.
It's like putting your trainer in slope mode. So it'll be at a consistent 6% grade or whatever grade this is going to be at, but you have a consistent force to push your pedals against rather than
all right.
Ramp test, or like this would be more natural than a ramp test. And it's easier than say if you do it on the Alp, which goes like flat a little up, you know, like you want a consistent, even pace to drive through your effort.
So today,
that's not bad.
In my ride, I did the Mountain Mash course, which was like just about 6 kilometers.
Now. You can do this.
No. I'm just talking about the gradient and everything, because I'll tell you in a second about my anger with Zwift where they announced this, but I did the Mountain Mash, which starts at like the jungle start pen and goes up to the top of the Epic KOM, and it's like 6 kilometers, and it's I think it was 335 meters. Well, that's 8 kilometers and 300. So it's probably going to be a little bit less of an average of the backside of the Epic KOM. So maybe about 5% average. And if you're looking here, see how some of this, the existing
visual
roads,
audience here, it's like half of the new route.
Yeah. So this is already existing. If you scroll back up, I think if you scroll up, see how this other section doesn't line up. Now, everything here's, you got the Epic KOM in the backside, the grade, and then this other section doesn't line up until you get to the jungle. So it looks like we're getting a new little piece of road with this, unless they're just terrible at their own art and completely swung and missed.
Correct overlay.
Because there's another one that shows that.
I think I looked at this for just a second. If you go to the last one and you click on it and zoom in, this is great for the audio only audience. Is like you're missing. See that right there? Like clicking that. There's like so many. It's like 45 different versions of that, and I don't think that lines up properly. So
either they are terrible at their own graphic arts, or they are hinting at we're getting a new section of road on this. But maybe they're terrible. I don't know.
Well, whatever. They
like this bypass right here.
Yeah. But the thing for me is going back to the FTP stuff. I was under the impression, this is how I was when I first got into like competitive stuff, and I was getting my FTP, and I would do it outside. It was preferred to be on a rolling course, not a gradient course, like uphill, because you're going to simulate what you can do on downhills to try to maintain power at maximal effort. Where if you're just constantly with resistance and going up a grade, you can just hold that. Yeah, you can just hold that all the time and then do that. But when you're in a race, you might not be able to do that on a flat. Yeah. So that was how I was doing my FTP tests. I would always get higher FTP efforts on when I would do climbs and be like, oh, you've improved this or you did this. And it's like, your 20-minute is better, but you're on a climb. But can you replicate that on a flat? Sometimes you can't replicate that power. So like I said, I agree with you guys at the beginning. Like, it's always good to have new routes. Like, oh, new is good, right? But
yeah,
is the driving force FTP?
Well, that's
like, that's an interesting thing for people.
I don't understand the purpose of specifically building something to test FTP. Like, unless they have a different idea that they're going with, like a different testing protocol.
Are they being innovative for how they're trying to get people to get, like, they're like innovating in how this FTP test should be done, or FTP should be growing in their...
Well, here's my thought. Like, okay, when I go do an FTP test now, because I always do the center one. I've never done a ramp test, but like you do the warm up, you do the 5-minute effort or 3-minute, depends on which one you do, and then you do your 20-minute effort. Well, this just looks like you're starting and hitting right off of it. So like, is there a warm up built in? Are you supposed to start like? Do you start somewhere else?
That's on the rider. That's on the rider.
Well, that's what I'm just curious. Like,
is there a warm up on a ramp test? I don't know, because I don't do ramp tests either.
I've never done one. If anyone in the audience knows,
there's people that like doing FTP tests. So I don't know.
I think they're doing something. As much as I rag on them, I'll give them this. I'll probably never do it as an FTP test. What annoys me overall, though, I mean, this is only speculation, but by Zwift Insider, but 11 to 14 kilometers of new roads, but they're going to announce 87 kilometers of new routes. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But it's something. I'm glad that they're still chugging along. I'm interested to see what this grade is going to be, how people are going to use it, how Zwift is going to use it. Maybe they're standardizing some Zwift FTP protocol. I mean, if they have enough data in their system, they should be like the FTP masters.
Yeah.
They should. I mean, that I agree with you. They should be like Zert in that sense, where they should have so much data from all their users, and they could go, hey, we don't need you to do a road to do an FTP test. We just have your FTP.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that's kind of what the ZFTP and ZMax or VO2, whatever the hell they call it.
ZMap, right?
ZMap, yeah.
And
I think that's what they're trending to be like, because if you go out and do a hard ride today, it'll update live time. So I think that's a very good possibility that they're trying to transition to slowly. So like, all right, you got your ZFTP from a race. Well, all right, we need you to do the grade. That way we get an accurate, whatever it may be, 10, 12, 14-minute effort out of you to see if that lines up with this.
So this could be the push to get less. They could focus less on the competitive racing, the high-end competitive racing, and they're focusing on the casual training community.
Yeah, I think this is for the casual people who doesn't like doing the, hey, I'm going to go do an FTP test, or compared to, hey, I'm going to go do this climb to specifically target my best time. And then it's an FTP test. Yeah,
FTP testing is very mental, and a lot of people are mentally weak. I'm included. I hate FTP testing. I've done it tons in the past. I think this gives people, the casual person, a goal. I'm going to climb this section of the hill as fast as I can. And even if you do it faster, Zwift's new algorithm for FTP creation can probably figure out an FTP within a pretty accurate number if you go hard on that one section of hill.
Yeah.
And being that it is a standard slope grade, it will be easier for most people just to pick a gear and, grind it out and hold a steady wattage without, fluctuations. Maybe that's in their calculation. Maybe they know if you're holding exact, like how well you hold, like if you start faltering, that could be in their calculations. Like, oh, look.
Is it an hour or is it 20 minutes?
Oh, no, it's like 8 minutes. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The grade is only like enough effort to do, or enough length, they said, to do a 10-minute effort.
So they are trying to innovate the FTP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a shortened FTP.
Well, that's cool. I'm all for Zwift innovating.
Well, and ultimately the FTP doesn't mean jack squat to anybody else. My FTP doesn't mean anything to you guys.
Yeah, but their whole ranking system is based on it. That's the thing.
For that,
like,
yes.
That's the reason why it's like, oh, I need to have this sort of thing so that I'm ranked into a race that I can do.
Yeah. Yes. For training purposes, I mean, my FTP is personal to me for my workouts that I do. But yes, until they get rid of their system.
Fitness ranking,
yes. Maybe that's how they're going to rank people, how well you did on the grade. Maybe everyone's going to get re-ranked now.
Oh, okay. That's a thought. So like you have to do your verification so you have to do the grade. Everyone has to do the grade. That'll get people to ride it.
Yeah.
That want to be
competitive. And that would give them more
and
data. If they could get 200,000 people to do an FTP test up this thing.
You think they're going to have 200,000 people doing this?
Oh, I guarantee it. You put a route badge on that, people are going to suck this up. They may not do it.
I don't think they have 200,000 people on the system anymore.
Oh, they could do so much with it because they could have like the finishing banner where if you're even close to breaking your FTP, it could have like visual cues being like, you're breaking your FTP,
Yeah.
push for 30 more seconds. Your FTP is going to be increased. And you cross the banner and it's like, kablam, fireworks. You did it. 3 more watts.
Okay, so this is a question that we probably won't be able to answer unless we look it up. What is the fitness gauge for like Peloton? Do they go by FTP or do they have their own name for things?
I think Peloton is just like giver in class. Does it even have a fitness gauge?
People, that's how the people drive themselves. It's like the reward system from like Peloton, right?
I think spin classers, just the reward is just fitness.
Yeah. I have a friend. My wife has a friend that is huge into Peloton and goes to live events in New York City. She lives in New York City, so I'll ask Sydney what numbers or like, how does she know?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, how does, because what is it like? There's ranks for people. It's like, how do you gauge how you are against other Peloton people to know how fit you are?
In class level 9.
Or not even against other people, just to say, oh, I'm fitter. Like I'm a silver.
Right.
I'm a silver Peloton.
Well,
like, oh, what does that mean?
Sydney and see what she says.
Because the bikes do have power. I know the newer ones, and they're decently accurate. They should be. They're super expensive.
Yeah, but incentive laden competition is key for sustaining.
Can you imagine if there was nothing in Peloton and people were just doing that just because?
Well,
might be just a workout and it's done. Like there's no sort of accumulation, right? Really there could be. I don't think there is. That's not the way that humans are driven. Is like, oh, I'm a bronze ranked Pelotoner and I'm trying to get to silver. Not only am I getting fit and I'm doing the class and I get a good workout, but like there's that sort of, it's like a rental car. It's like any incentive. Like, hey, I'm an gold member of rental car company, said rental car company, because you use it all the time. That's a reward system. And it's like, it shows your status. Peloton's got to have some sort of status thing. I mean, you can ask your friend Sydney, and then Lee can also look it up. But we'll go into this thing. He put up a Zwift Riders, which I don't even think I'm a part of, on Facebook.
Yeah, you're missing out. So much fun.
Oh no, you're not.
I think I was there and I posted something very like, hey, I need some help with something, and then like people, maybe I was sarcastic about it, and then they just killed the comments, and like it was just like, whoosh, and I'm like, okay.
I have to give props to James Bailey, a Zwift employee, because he answers a lot of trolls on these Facebook pages.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he spends way more time and effort than I ever would, and he's very, in the most cases, he's very like upstanding.
He's a good administrator.
Customer service. Yes, he's not, because I've been like, screw you, jerk faces.
Yeah, well, you don't work for the company.
But anyways, the big news, June 3rd, at Zwift organized or Zwift owned races, there is no more Zpower. Zpower is gone, which includes monthly Z Racing, the Zwift Hill Climb Racing Club, the Zwift TT Racing Club, the Zwift Crit Racing Club, the Zwift Epic Races, and the Zwift Women's Racing Series. No more Zpower as of June 3rd, which I think for the more non-casual competition side is a fantastic thing. So riders will have to have a power meter, smart trainer, or smart bike. No more Zpower.
No more Zpower to compete in those events.
In those events.
They're not.
To be in the results or to be in the race?
No,
in the race. You cannot join.
You cannot join if you have Zpower. Yeah. They're hardware locked.
And I will say this from trying to collect jerseys: if you enter a power meter required event or smart trainer required event and it disconnects for more than 90 seconds, boot you right out of the event. Because I joined a jersey unlock to ride it, like an hour later, and I didn't connect my trainer, and I went back and my guy was sitting back in Watopia. So I looked it up, and because it was a smart trainer required event, mine disconnected, sent me on the way. So
Okay.
so they are definitely cracking down on the requirements of what
now
you
they're
need.
cracking down.
Yeah. Well, this has been that's been around for about 18 months. That power to
Power
join,
meter
and now
thing.
it's becoming more and more common though. Before it was just like very random, but now it's becoming more and more common.
Okay. So races that don't mean anything, that are casual races, they've just kicked out the casual people.
Well,
No, the racing club, these ones are actually fairly well attended.
yeah,
The,
these are pretty
Attended is
decent.
fine. It's still casual racing.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, all racing, 99% of racing is casual racing under
So the
that
Z Power
definition.
people are going to go into fondos and stuff.
Well, this also does help. Like Weebles the other day, I don't know if I was watching actually Casey's stream, and he caught the end of Weebles' stream where
Lucas,
he was in a
everyone.
race. Yeah, Lucas for Slice, and Lucas was say 4 minutes, 3 minutes. I don't remember. Massive gap off the front, and here comes a 5.7 Z Power guy locked in, and tracked him down. I forget, it was something crazy what he did to cover this gap, and Lucas was infuriated over this. So this hopefully will eliminate that situation to where you're attacking a Z Power guy just brings the group back. You get a gap. Z Power brings you right back, and then after like the fourth time of that, Z Power just rides away from you, and you're already gassed because you've been attacking.
That's the problem with Z Power is you can't sprint and you can't go slow. You just go at this ridiculous 5.0 steady state. They're like a pace robot.
Yeah.
Z
So
Power.
this is a win. This is a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Okay.
Especially coming from a Zwift sanctioned, like they're kind of realizing, hey, I take it as, hey, we hear you complaining about the Z Power guys. In our events where we can control, we're eliminating Z Power.
It's the first thing they've done in a very long time. You know, whether it's casual or competitive races where they've actually done something positive for racing.
I agree.
I think they're realizing as well, they wouldn't have done this a few years ago because the percentage of Z Power racers was quite high and Zwift doesn't like ticking people off. But I think at the point now where, you know, wheel on or wheel off trainers are becoming reasonably priced, I guess reasonable, still expensive, that probably the amount of, they probably know the statistics. There's probably a person on the back end going, oh, we're only down to about 3% Z powers. Let's just ban them.
How many races is this a week?
Oh, I have no idea.
Let me look it up real quick. I was trying to look up, we were talking about the racing. I was trying
as you start to try to find these races and you're like, I can't search these.
I was trying to find an update on the Zwift
monthly,
racing
there's monthly
sport.
Z racing. The Zwift Hill Climb Racing Club, is that once a week?
No. I got you. I was trying to find an update on the Zwift racing score. There has been no update. Okay, so I just typed in Zwift in searching on event hacks or Zwift events on Zwift hacks. So tonight we have a Zwift TT Club, Zwift Hill Climb, Zwift Crit Racing. All right, so that's 3 events just tonight. Tomorrow, it seems like starting at 3 a.m., 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 events from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. So there's several of these Zwift.
Okay, that's a lot of races.
Yeah. And then scanning through here, like it's the different ones, they fall. It kind of looks like every few hours, every 2 to 3 hours, you see these Zwift events.
Well, because it's a TT and there's not outside influences, I think what they do is they give everyone like a week or 5 days to complete the TT, and then they tabulate the results.
Yeah, so there's several of these Zwift events.
So
I've done a few of them here.
If we actually look at this, here, I'll share this screen here.
It says that they're adding a filter so you can look for a hardware requirement.
So here's Zwift TT Club Season 2, Week 1. Look who's in the organizers.
Oh.
Good friend Bjorn.
Oh, yeah. And James Bailey. I think I know that name. That's,
James Bailey is the Zwift guy.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that's good news, I guess.
And
I was always under the impression that it's just a good workout. So don't need to race in Zwift. It's
Don't need to race.
It's just a good workout. And if you have a Zpower person, you're going to get an even better workout, right? Don't take it so seriously.
Well,
Am
hold
am I being facetious in that sense?
People take it seriously. That's the problem.
Yeah. So,
but Zwift had not taken it seriously.
No,
None of these races were serious. And now it's serious.
if you go into it wanting to do well, and then you're putting effort out, and then you got a Zpower guy, it's frustrating. It is.
It's still a good workout.
You're not wrong. It is a workout.
I can't race against Zpower. Oh, that's great. But it's like now?
Yeah. You're, almost 10 years into this?
Now
even if you would have limited it, like, say, 3 or 4 years ago. But I don't know. Like you said, Zwift's all about catering to the masses.
They don't like to rock the boat with any of their subscribers. It's a well-known thing. I've seen guys.
Why do it at all?
Well, they got to start somewhere.
No, you don't.
Somewhere. Sure, you do.
Get out of here with this company, man. You guys are like a Zwift apologist now.
No, I don't ride. It's sunny outside. Actually, it wasn't today. I don't ride inside.
Oh no, it's. Oh, I'm so glad they're doing Zwift.
It's a step in the right direction.
It's always mattered.
Okay. How many years has this been complained about? You have you have an emote in your stream about this.
Yeah.
And now you're just like, oh, that's good. Thanks for listening to me. After how many years?
Yeah.
How many years?
Several.
Yeah. You have softened the blow.
I would say it probably always has been possible to stop Zpower, because when you log in, your sensors register within the game. So if you're not registering a power meter or a smart trainer, it would know that you're on Zpower.
Yeah.
All right.
And if I don't have my power meter connected, I join an event. Okay. In the app, it says Zpower.
Okay. And in Indy Villa, how long have they had this feature?
Indy Villa, MyWhoosh don't allow Zpower, guys. You have to have a power meter or a.
No, you don't. You can ride around.
Okay.
You can ride around the speed sensor.
Of all things to get excited about, it feels bottom of the rung to implement. But yes.
Yes. Thank you, Damon.
But
okay,
I appreciate any forward movement. Whether I need it or not.
$5 worth? When I bought a Starbucks yesterday, I was thinking, it's just a Starbucks, because I was on the road and I had to stop and use the bathroom. So I got Starbucks.
We're just here. We're just reporting.
We're just reporting
the news.
I just feel that I'm not as excited about Zwift implementing something that's meaningless to me. I'm more disappointed in you two not being as sarcastic and questioning their motives as much as I am.
What are their motives?
You guys are like, oh, it's a
sell more trainers.
It's like a step in the right direction. I'm just like, what are you guys talking about?
It's a step too late, though. But hey, that's what we pay $5 extra now for.
The thing is, I don't understand
Zpower.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they calculated that all the Zpower people would leave.
Okay, so
they're like, this makes up difference.
Right. The reason I believe, and I just thought of this, I think the reason why they're doing this now is because they don't care if they lose subscribers, because they've raised the rates. And so the Zpower people will maybe fade away. They're like, well, I can't do my races and win. I don't want to ride around and do my fun stuff because that's stupid, because I'm on a Zpower, and I'll just stare at the wall. Or I'll just ride in free stuff. And then all the people that are competitive it's like Damon said, low hanging fruit to do it now, when they should have done it when they had hundreds of thousands of people racing. And so now it's like, oh, it's easy to get away with, because now we're charging higher costs. So we're getting our subscription money.
Oh no,
Here,
that's what I said. I said that they don't mind kicking the Zpower out people now because it makes the difference up because they're charging $5 an hour. They wouldn't want to piss off Zpower people 2 years ago because that would get rid of 15% of their user base.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then offer dual power recording.
that would be nice.
There's got to be a
Taking
huge
things away is
for,
awesome. I love taking features away from people. That is great. That's a great service. How about adding features for people?
Is Zpower a feature when no one else
No,
provides
taking it away an experience from somebody that's a casual user. Because here's the thing is Zpower is a negative, right? Quote unquote negative. It's negative. No. That's the entry level for people to get into the sport.
Yeah.
Right. And now you're taking that away from them.
Are you saying you like Zpower? You're saying it was a good thing?
No. I'm not saying I'm the advocate for getting people on a bike and riding in a virtual world and whatever, racing or riding or doing casual stuff. Yes, the experience for me personally sucks. And for those that have experienced it, but this is a casual race, right? It's a casual race. These are casual races that no one cares about. The highly competitive stuff is, yes, that's where you need dual recording. You need to poop in a bag. You need to pee in a cup. All these things that you got to jump through. That's tough. Dual recording, like get it. So like, hey, I'm doing dual recording competitive esports on Zwift. Where are those features?
But I think didn't we all of a sudden come to the conclusion a few weeks ago that we didn't want Zwift to have dual recording because it didn't need it?
Oh no, I don't. No. Yeah,
Zpower isn't dual recording. If you actually have a power meter,
Zwift should have microtransactions.
Yeah, races.
Zwift should have microtransactions and more money coming in so they can do better things. That's what we came to the conclusion of 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, right? Before they raised the prices. The Sunday before they raised the prices on Tuesday, I said on this show, they should use microtransactions to get more money so they can keep people on staff and keep making the game better. And then they raise the rates and everyone loses their shit. We didn't even talk about it because we had Bjorn on from Indie Velo, which is, I feel, a better game in these days. And so, go ahead, Brian, go.
Oh, did you guys say within that George had said that their users have doubled after that price increased?
No, because we didn't know about it. Yes, it has doubled. You're right. That's a good point. They have doubled and they get a lot more. Yeah, George is very clear about stuff. He talks about, oh yeah, we're getting more stuff, and Bjorn talks about stuff. People are interested in the game. This is the other thing we wanted to talk about on the stream is Apple TV is getting support now. It's on the Founders Club. So if you want to join the Founders Club, you can get early access to it. But it eventually is going to be coming to, I think, the open beta for people. And so you can get, it's Windows, Android, iOS, and it's going to the Apple TV, which is tvOS. So that's all coming.
You rubbing your eye in sympathy for the other
yes,
Brian?
I'm getting crust out of my eye I'm so asleep from Zwift's taking features away. Like it's something to be proud about.
I got one more Zwift thing before we move on. If we're moving on,
let's go.
Okay, so for those who are watching, I should have sent this here. Zavreese, I'll put it in Discord if you could bring it up. I found this
for the audio only audience. Brian is sending a link over Discord.
I'm sending a link over to Zavreese. Hopefully the visual audience can see it here in a minute. Okay, so I was scrolling through I don't know why I saw this on the Facebook or not Facebook forums, Zwift forums. This is John, who is a Zwift staff member. It says, hey all, I have an update to share. As many have surmised by the fact we have not shipped the new update yet. And this is the new XP update. All right. The proposed curve we were testing over the last month was too big of a change. Are you fucking kidding me? You were testing something that was too big of a... Fuck.
So the XP thing, the XP adjustment is not
so
there?
They're not doing it right now. They're just sitting with what they were. And it says, yeah, we've messed up. They literally say this in this. We messed up.
This is a good find. This makes me happy.
We totally botched it in December.
Yeah.
The exact words it says.
You completely destroyed your XP system, but now we've been testing and it's too big. It says in here somewhere, it says, we had no idea people would level up so fast. Are you goddamn kidding me? Do you even realize how much in that? You put the climb portal with like 50,000 XP points in 400 meters because you got 10 banners. These guys are idiots. I don't think the people that are actually
Hey, it's a step forward.
for the game.
Step forward, guys. Hey, they're
Oh.
adding something.
They
Step
even
forward,
use
guys.
the game. What numbers are they looking at?
5 minutes ago, you were all in.
Jesus.
You were all in on Zwift, taking away Zwift power from people, or Z
This
power.
is hilarious.
Power.
It's actually,
Now you guys are now.
Z
Hey,
power
welcome
doesn't
back.
bother me because
Welcome
I don't
back,
race.
gentlemen. Welcome back.
Yes,
Yeah.
XP stuff that makes me mad.
Yeah, XP, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, exactly. They
I
couldn't
can't
have done
believe
the
this.
math.
He literally said it was too big of a change. Yeah, slopped off. What was it? 180,000 or 60,000 XP points to go from the top level to what used to be the top level. Morons. God.
So they have.
So now
what,
we're just
how
going
many
to keep
days?
the
They got
current thing.
5 days to implement it in May when they said they were going to release it in May.
Yeah.
And they're not going to release it, huh?
No.
Yep. Yeah, they're just kind of sitting.
We're quoting this. I can say we will try and not change this curve drastically after this. And in the future, we'll look to add additional levels or a prestige system of some sort at level 100.
Yeah, that's the only way they can fix it is leave it how it is. Then once everyone hits level 100, then change it. But
and then if you get to
moly.
level 200, that means you rode like 300,000 kilometers. You didn't ride 17,000 kilometers and get level 100 in 4 weeks.
XP.
Or 4 months or whatever.
Jesus.
This gets under my skin.
Check mark. Oh, this, yeah. This and you not getting that kit, you went in and got kicked out after 90 seconds for not having a trainer.
Bastard.
Those are the things.
And you know what's the ironic thing about that?
Z-Power is not in these casual races. I don't even do. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How many of those races, we're going back to the thing we just talked about. How many of those races have you guys done?
0.
I
don't race.
I don't know. I've done it. I'm not going to say I do them all the time, but I've done a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but
step forward. Step in the right direction, guys.
For my level of racing and what I enjoy, it is a step in the right direction.
I enjoyed ZRL racing because of the team aspect of it. And that was about the only Zwift racing. Same with WTRL, the team time trials. I did very little racing outside of those two events.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I enjoyed being part of a team. And it wasn't just, even if I didn't come top 5, I still could contribute.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations, Zwift.
Yeah,
status quo. Sounds like they're doing fantastic.
It just makes me laugh that they're backtracking on their backtrack. That's actually more amusing to me. I don't honestly care what they did. They already wrecked the XP system. It already is wrecked. There's no really going back from the wreckage. But the fact that they actually came out and said, yeah, we screwed it up. And well,
here's another thing I'm reading from this on the third paragraph. Because just like drops, people would be drowning in XP anyway. So it'd possibly become worthless to too many Zwifters.
Already is worthless.
No, it isn't. It's so worth people. That's why people stick around. That's why you guys still have accounts. That's why you guys double dip. You want the XP. You care. Like I ride in Indy Velo.
I do.
I never double dip because I don't care. And I don't care. I don't even know what number I'm on. I think I'm level 87 and I've been 87 for like the last 2 months because I don't want to double dip because I don't care. I haven't cared since level 42. Because you guys already proved a couple shows ago. Yeah, you guys proved a couple of shows ago that the bike selection is this farce.
Yeah, it's a scam.
It's a total scam. So level 42, I was like, this is during the pandemic. I'm like, I need to get level 42 to get open up those disc wheels to help me race and do better. 45 levels later, it still doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. I know. I did cancel the Zwift membership just to try different stuff. You know,
Yeah.
$20 is a little annoying. It is. It certainly I could afford it, but it's just like, all right, you know, I'm going to do some other things. Indie Velo, like you said before, I got back to the XP rant. Uh, Indie Velo is phenomenal with the progression of the game, the implementation of, and actually listen to kind of like the direction of where to go. MyWhoosh is supposedly going to like change their drafting delay. I will say I was riding MyWhoosh yesterday. Yes, yesterday. When I'm free riding and not an event, the power delay doesn't seem nearly as bad as when I'm in an event. When I'm in an event, it is horrendous. So I don't know if it's...
I actually think we should do a test. Maybe Mr. Science can do a test for us. I think there's if you do Ant Plus or Bluetooth on MyWhoosh without the race mode, the old way, there was still a little delay. Maybe it's not as drastic as MyWhoosh, but I think we should do a cross-platform delay test for Bluetooth, Ant Plus, and then race or direct connect. Those 3 connections, right? So 2 are wireless and 1 is wired.
I do know
we can also do direct connect over Wi-Fi and see what that's I'm giving that out. The Spincast science department needs to dial those in.
And this is something you said at the beginning of this show. It is so much easier to find information on Zwift than it is freaking MyWhoosh or Indie Velo even. Like,
yeah, because they have so many more years built up with data.
Yes, agreed.
And they have a sort of they
have much bigger users.
Well, Zwift Insider is sort of the living document of that game, and it's not essentially.
Yeah, no.
There's no living document. Yeah, there's the Zomunique, which covers like esports, e-cycling esports, which is not specifically like. Now Eric has other writers, and he writes for Zwift Insider, but they don't touch on other stuff as much as they touch on Zwift. They might mention an RGT here and there or a MyWhoosh here and there, like for like a big story, but it is pretty much 24/7 Zwift stories, Zwift related stories, things that sort of revolve around Zwift, and that's where you're going to get comments, and then people are more interactive with that, like your Zwift riders on Facebook, but then also the comments on Zwift Insider. It's the Zwift forum.
It's way easier for Zwift as well. They just feed Eric the inside information before everyone else, so he can put out a news report.
Yeah,
and Zwift doesn't have to have a marketing department because they fired them off.
I finally found the world schedule for MyWhoosh. So there's a course in Australia, which Australia's available today and Wednesday. So I'll have to wait till Wednesday to do this course, but there's a phenomenal little crit course. It might be 4 to 5K, maybe not even that long, but it has a super sharp bump, flat bump, and then drops off. And that is where I was testing how big the delay is. And that was like 2 to 3 seconds. So on Wednesday, I'll do some science. Test Bluetooth and Amp Plus for the power.
Do you have direct connect? I can't remember if you have direct connect.
I don't have direct connect, no.
I know when I do.
Do you have a trainer that can handle it?
What's that?
Do you have a trainer that can handle it?
No, and that's why I can't do Sunday Race Club. I got the V4, so Kicker 18.
Oh, okay.
And it's not compatible or on the approved list for Sunday Race Club. That's why I was all excited to do it. So maybe in the fall I'll buy a V6 and then try to compete.
You should get one now.
Oh, okay.
Before people get back into it, people might be trying to offload it.
Yeah.
No, but September then the V7 will come out.
Yeah.
I think Wahoo's on like a 2-year cycle for their hardware. Because the Kicker Move, it was V6 and then it was 2 years in the Kicker Move. And then maybe another, I think so, right? It was 2018, 2020. Then 2020 with Wi-Fi. Then it was V6 with Wi-Fi. It
was 2022.
Yeah, it was 2022. And then, maybe 2024. No, Kicker Move came out last year.
Yeah.
And
they
this
just
and
put
the bike shift, the shift bike.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah,
focused
we'll
probably
see.
on the treadmill, which I've actually considered looking at for my wife and myself.
So I'm reading Damon's in chat here. Check the new TTT physics testing of MyWhoosh. I'll have to look at that because I know I was trying to draft off someone yesterday, and it was just the same horrendous like yo-yo thing. You have to work so hard, you don't get a rest. You know, like if you were taking turns, you have to work so hard and concentrate. Then it's like, oh well, it's been a minute. I got to take a turn now, but I didn't get any rest. I'll have to watch it to see.
It's like old Zwift.
Yeah, well, I
Zwift
don't
was a
remember
lot like
Zwift.
that. You had to always be on the power a lot. Yeah, it was like a.
I guess
It was
it's
like
been
a
so
true
long.
FTP test when I was doing team time trial sometimes.
Yeah, I guess it's been so long since Zwift physics have sucked like that. I kind of forget. But you're right. It was a lot more difficult in the first little while of Zwift. It was.
Yeah, until what is it? Zwift Pack Dynamics
4.2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, 4.2.
That
Yeah,
one.
last August, I think.
And you got to be with people, like a lot of people, to get the benefit of it. Like just one other person, it was. The game's always, you got to be pedaling. Always be pedaling. Always, unless that's changed, but always be pedaling. The way Indie Velo works and the way that MyWhoosh has momentum, like better implementation of momentum.
Yeah,
it's like I get off, I stop pedaling on Indie Velo, and I like keep rolling. I'm like, oh,
I think
RGT was
just, I
You
did
rolled for a long time.
like the individual physics, like just basically was me riding around whatever world I was. It was kind of a bumpy course. I think I did like 23 miles in an hour in 20 or 30 minutes or so. Like that's actually kind of pretty accurate for real world fluffy me going up 6% grades and down, you know? Like, so I think the actual physics are kind of okay. It's just, if we can get the draft figured out.
Yeah, I think they're working on that.
Yeah.
I think it's math. Because what happens is there's got to be some math formula that as you approach somebody else, you don't overshoot them. So there's a curve that they have to build.
Isn't that
so
like, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just mean it's like a curve, and it's a very fine line because as a user that's playing the game, you can visually see like, okay, I need to stop or soft pedal. But the game, in reality, it's the game doing it for you. Because you're you're starting to soft pedal way too late. So the game is trying to like compensate for that.
Yeah.
So there's probably some
wasn't
weird
that what Zwift used to do with
sticky draft?
Sticky draft.
Yeah, where if you
kind of snap onto somebody, you snap onto somebody.
You'd snap onto somebody, but then to break away, you needed to do 300 more watts,
or let off the power a little bit.
Yeah, to get away from them to break.
Yeah.
So there's like sticky watts. That's kind of what MyWhoosh needs a little bit, but not as sticky. And I think that's the problem: is how do you accomplish that without making it sticky? You know, sticky draft.
Man, however RGT did it. When I ride with bots, man, it was fun to just ride around.
Yes,
and I could surf
RGT
wheels.
didn't have any of those issues.
I remember doing that. I remember I would just go around in circles on Borrego and be like, man, this is just fun. See, that's fun for me.
Because it looks exactly like your neighborhood after watching you IRL.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
Hey, I know. I'm telling you. When speaking of that, we talked about that. Trying to get a better gimbal or something, more shock absorption for that.
Is there any vibration isolator experts in the chat?
Yeah. Anybody have any that I could?
How do we vibration isolate, Brian?
Yeah, I got the motorcycle mount, the quad lock motorcycle mount, which I like because it's really rigid, but it's like supposed to help with a shock absorption motorcycle. Like it already has like front suspension and rear suspension, but like on a road bike, it doesn't. So it's just like a little extra cushion. Maybe I can modify it and put like stronger rubber bands or better, like more bouncy rubber bands to help absorb more, because it's more of like it's a harder rubber. Maybe I can modify with more cushioning, like a better bushing sort of thing.
Bigger bike tires, less air pressure.
That too. Maybe
Slower.
yeah, slower. I could go slower on a smoother road. That probably would help. Slower in a smoother road. So,
because most of the time on mine, I'm on my cross bike, so I have 40s and they're running like 32 psi. So there's a level of a vibration absorption from that.
Yeah. Right on. Oh, I said I'm going to start doing a event in Indy Velo called the Hugs 101. You start doing it 101K or more on the weekends.
What is that?
I did it this morning. I didn't write it. I created it just to talk about it. But it's going to be like 10 o'clock on Saturday nights. So 2200 Pacific, and 6 a.m. Sunday mornings Pacific. 101 kilometer races with bots. All the bots.
So you're saying when? 10 p.m. Pacific. Yep. So that's be 1 a.m. my time.
Yep. And then 6 a.m., which is 9 o'clock for you.
10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Those like the worst times ever.
I get to do the 9 a.m. or 10
a.m. You want to do
it?
What works for you, Lee? What would be a better time for you?
It's too hot to ride indoors right now.
Okay. Well, we're going to do 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock.
Actually, my indoor schedule is I have free 20 minutes. I'm going to go ride indoors. I don't have a good schedule at the moment.
I don't have either. I was trying to find something to motivate me. So that's something I want to do.
That's what motivates me with indoor, is being able to do it right now when I want. Because when I go to work and I'm like, I'm going to ride after work, I'm super pumped. By the time I get home, I'm like, no, I'm not. Not anymore. I was super pumped 3 hours ago. Bjorn will join you at 6 a.m.
What's that? He did it?
Bjorn will join you at 6 a.m.
Okay. All right, Bjorn. Come, everybody. Race with the bots. We're going to get bots. Hey, I was thinking about this too, if Bjorn is listening too as well. We need to have the bots communicate, like talk smack, or say good job, or hey, that was a great attack, to confuse us even more if they're real or not.
You're going down.
Yeah, you're going, screw you guys. They should have a bot that says screw you guys. That's an inside joke between
there should be a team Bjorn and myself that like runs into people at random intervals.
Sure.
Takes you out of the race.
Sure. All right. Is that it? No, we got a little bit more. Anything else? Brian, what do you got? I mean, you haven't ridden in a while. Are you?
No, well, between work and then travel, I haven't rode much. I rode yesterday and today. It was about all the riding I've done the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, so good news. We try to get Casey on, Casey Shum, and he has been racing, and he's been racing a lot of Indy Velo. He put a cassette on, and he's all in, because a lot of the Zwift stuff has been bothering him, but he's been enjoying Indy Velo because of the bot races, and like he can get stuff. But he's also racing with like people, but also the bots there. It's challenging, and one of the things he was talking about, this is the one thing, and when he comes on, he can go more into it. But he touched on, he was like in the was it a reverse elimination?
No, it wasn't.
What was he doing?
I don't remember. It wasn't reverse elimination, because that's what set you off that one day. But
because I didn't know it was reverse elimination, and I'm like, I got eliminated on the first sprint because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I won the first sprint. And they're like, "Oh, you're gone."
But it was like,
I'm like, what?
The points were inverted or something. Like, so,
yeah,
like,
so he was his. I think I remember now. I don't know what the format was, and he can come on and talk about it. But the thing that he was very happy with is it engaged his brain. Like, he was in the race and it was engaging, even though it was with bots and maybe one other human or whoever it was, but it was better than an experience doing a Zwift race and only having like one or two people that don't do anything. They just sort of ride and stay together.
They're worse than bots.
Yeah, they're worse than bots, because the bots will counterattack you. Like, I get counterattacked all the time on the short, what is it? There's like a South Coast crit. I think it's a South Coast crit. It's like four laps on Indy Velo, and it's good. It's like around 6 o'clock Pacific, but it's this sort of mental challenge that's pushing you. Yeah, everyone's getting. That's why I was talking about that at the beginning. It's just a good workout. No more Zpower. Yeah, it's nice when you know that there's not a Zpower person that's sort of ruining the experience, but it's a casual, hey, I got a good workout. Okay, I got it. But if your brain activity is engaging you and the racing tactics are not so monotonous and just like, oh, so everyone stay together and then come to the end and sprint, which there's races that are fun like that, but he was more, and that's why he's in. So that he might be into doing the hugs 101.
Well, that's good to know, because I think there's a misconception with the bots when people say, also, it happens all the time with the internet. People jump to conclusions without actually researching things. And when you say bots, I don't want to ride with bots. I don't want to ride with bots. But people don't even know what the actual bots do. And the bots are better than riding with real people.
Didn't Zwift just give everyone a bunch of bots?
And everyone was like, yeah, hooray.
Yeah,
hooray.
and it was like exciting.
Oh, I can't wait to be chased by a bot.
Bring that up. Bring that news story up. What's that one where it's like these bots thing?
On the Zwift Lab thing, it's like the Uverse. It's a chase race, and like the Zwift Lab thing.
But are they pace bots or are they?
No, so the bots ride at a certain dynamic speed. Yeah. You leave 10 minutes before the bots, and then the bots ride at 6.0 and chase you.
It's a chase race.
And people are excited about this?
And humans are supposed to work together in a blob to beat the bots.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing innovative except for you have bots instead of A's chasing the B's, C's, and D's. And then the other thing on there...
Hold on a second. Let me check. Hold on. Let me cut you off here.
No. Go.
Isn't the reason why people like Zwift is because there's people there?
And maybe this is like Fortnite, because they're adding in bots to make it more competitive for some of the less skilled guys, because they started adding bots, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, and it was an uproar. Well, now I just so
maybe I'm ahead of the curve. I said I wanted more bots. I did this like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Didn't we do this, Lee, like last week or 2 weeks ago? When I was like, I want bots. I want to practice Zwift. I want to ride around and do more bots. I can't, because they just have pace bots, and it's a bunch of people just sitting around there. I can't do what I want to do in the game, and now they're adding bots. It's like, why don't they make better bots? They're just doing pacer bots that are chasing you.
It seems like pacer bots. Same with the climbing. They climb at the same speed. That's how I take it.
It's just so close, yet they don't hit it out of the park for me.
And then, if you scroll down, I want to ask anyone here, and you guys as well.
All right.
There.
What is it? Which one?
Fondos. Are we serious? We have to test Fondos, you dumb bastards. You put on Fondos for years. What?
Yeah.
What are we testing?
Stuff is like, what?
This is for the new people that wanted to pay $20 a month.
Yeah.
Do you know the one thing that actually I shouldn't say, there's a few things on this list. The audio workout prompts, I actually wouldn't mind that. TTS telling you when your next interval is going to start 30 seconds before.
That's good. That's good for accessibility. Cool, yeah. That's good also for accessibility as well.
Yeah. Because there's been times where I've had my head down in an interval and the next one started and your trainer ramps up and you're like, holy crap, what the heck is going on? Where it would have been like,
Oh, AI generated audio files. Very cool. So they're integrating AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not bad. I actually look forward to that one. But in general, the Fondo thing, they already have Fondos.
I can.
Yeah.
And the bots.
That's good. That's a good call. It's already there.
Yeah.
I guess this is not new stuff. This is not a news. Go all the way to the top. Is this the new things coming to Zwift?
This is the Zwift Lab.
Or is this just?
This was announced.
Yeah, this was announced.
No, they changed. I think because I picked up on it from other people that the Zwift Future Works is gone, and now it's Zwift Labs.
Yes.
And so now Zwift. This is just a document to align everything that was Zwift Future Works and integrate what is now new to Zwift Labs. They brought in, so that's why Fondos is in here. It's like it already was part of
Well,
Zwift future works, and they're just bringing it aligned to the new branding of it. That's how I see it.
I can't even read this. I can't even read some of these. This is like, it blows my mind that these are like a thought. Like people sat around a boardroom and were like, hey, what about this? Like, oh my gosh. Kidding me? The after party? Seriously?
What's the after party? Oh, it's okay. Okay, here, after party. You want to read it? I can read it.
Oh, you read it. You read it.
It's business it's business on the way up and party on the way down. In these events, you'll tackle challenging climbs, pushing yourself to reach the summit. Your reward for reaching the top: big gains and big wheels. What a minute. Sorry, that's not written in there. That was my thought. That was my internal monologue coming out of my mouth. Hop on your trusty big wheel and relive your childhood summers as you rip down the descent and roll on through the finish arch. I have something in my throat because I can't comment on that.
Like, why?
So this is a big wheel race.
Why don't they just give you a big wheel in your garage, and when you get to the top of the Alp, you can choose that you want to ride? Why do I need to go into an event that automatically changes me to a big wheel? Like, I'm not going to go climb a hill just because I'm like at the top. I get to go. Like, this is.
Hey, my argument was that they weren't adding stuff. Well, they've added something. So, hey, step forward for me.
Actually, David just wrote chat GTP. That's how they came up with this AI, Siri, think of good things that we should add to Zwift. One of the things you should add is the after party. It's like,
okay, so going back to the audio workouts, I do want to give a shout out to somebody in the Indie Velo community, because George actually has color deficiency settings for people. So I think, who was it? Rob Miller? I don't want to say who it was, but somebody has a tough seeing red, and there's a way you can do a test online. He did a test online. He figured out what he actually had, and there are settings in Velo for color deficiency, and so it helps him see the game better. So the audio workouts is good. I think that's a good thing. I don't know if it helps with navigation to get into the to get into a workout from the launching of the game. But if somebody can get them into a game, then people that are, because I also know Fezwheel, Mark Ferris, member of the community, he has a friend that's blind and has like no ability to get into Zwift, because it's like you have to hover over buttons and click them. Maybe on an iPhone, because I've done some accessibility testing just on my own, closing my eyes and using navigation from an iPhone device to try to get into Zwift to do the things like you hover over. And I kind of know it from memory, but I think, Lee, even you were in that comment in the, and you were saying like, hey, next time you launch Zwift, close your eyes and see if you can do it. And
just ride whatever you pick.
Yeah.
That's what you get, because you're not going to get anything that you want to get.
But I think there are ways, there's like workarounds. If you like from memory, you could figure it out. Like you could sign up on the companion app, it would join an event, then launch the game. But I don't know how you get into a ride to launch you into the event. Like you have to be in the game in a ride for them to take you to the ride. If you're just in the menu screen, you can't just go into a menu. You can't just go into it. So for the accessibility team on Indie Velo, that's probably going to be a way that's like going to be a request for people that would need that. That would be something. That's probably, obviously, the users that need that is a lot lower than like, regular cyclists that cycle outside that don't have any visual impairments and stuff.
I mean, Zwift did hand bikes. Why can't they do something for visually impaired people?
Yeah, that's true.
Right. But that's
programming to do that is probably above and beyond their ability.
Yeah. So like some of it is system software, and then some of it is actual like game user interface, like user experience.
Well, because some of that would have to integrate with accessibility software, which would be another can of worms to probably get meshed.
Yeah, there should be like a whole team working on that. Sometimes that things, because when I worked at PlayStation, we had a lot of accessibility people from the community that gave us feedback, and then we had developers and we had people that were working with them to do it. It was a big initiative by the president or the CEO that when I was there, he was big on that. So that's the thing is like, I don't know if you have users that are willing to do it, but also the bandwidth to do it. So, all right. On that note, we get out of here. Anything else?
I'm good. Good for the night.
That was a good one.
Yeah. What are we riding? What are we riding this week?
Commuting.
Just commuting. I'm gonna try to do some IRL
maybe
stuff
some
as well.
streaming if the rain would stop.
Oh, you got rain. Brian, you getting on the bike or are you trying to get well?
Fix your eye.
Yeah, we'll see how things go. If hopefully, because right now, like I was riding at 190 watts today, my heart rate was like 150. So I am definitely not even close to being normal.
Yeah,
like
you got the vacationese right now, full of alcohol. 20,
yeah. You send a guy who don't drink too much to all you can drink resort. Oh boy. Oh.
Yeah. Well, you did ask you to request some water, some extra water.
Yeah.
Inside joke, everybody. All right. Do you want to get out of here?
All right. Hey, it was a good show, guys.
Yeah, good show. Play the music.
Thanks, everyone.